This is Creative Living with Bren Haas, the show where creative minds come together. I'm your host, Bren Haas. This is Season 1, Episode 1. Today's topic, making a difference in veterans' lives with gardening. Interview with Kenny, the Executive Director of GrowingVeterans.org. Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm so excited to connect with you all and share with you what's going on out in Northwest Washington State. For today's episode, I got to speak with Executive Director of the GrowingVeterans.org. It was a moving conversation for me because I'm a huge supporter of the men and women who serve our country. It was an honor to speak with Kenny, who is a veteran himself, and he had just got done harvesting a huge haul of yummy tomatoes from one of their gardens out there with fellow veterans. Now I'm getting really hungry talking about the harvest, so we better jump right into this interview with Kenny. Oh, hey, Kenny, we're live. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
Awesome. It's a beautiful day. Every day is a beautiful day, especially when you can just get outside for a little bit, right?
Very true. Very true.
So you are the executive director over at GrowingVeterans.org, correct?
That is correct. We're up in Northwest Washington, and our thing is to help soldiers and sailors and airmen, men and women, return from active duty to civilian life and reintegrate. And to do that, we use 3 small organic farms, and I'm at one of them as we speak. We've been harvesting tomatoes all morning, so my hands and especially my thumbs are actually quite green.
Oh, that is wonderful. See, now it's times like these, I wish we had the video on just so we could get a view of what's going on there. But I do want to know, you do share some wonderful photos over at GrowingVeterans.org. So hopefully everybody will click over there and take a look at what you've got growing on there. And so what is your role exactly with this organization?
Well, as executive director, I consider my main role is to be a mediator between the interests that we have in the organization and to make sure that everybody has the resources they need to do the best that they can. So we actually have 2 general programs. One is our agriculture program that we use. We use our fields actually the nickname for it is dirt therapy, and that's the opportunity for people to come back and just work shoulder to shoulder with civilians and volunteers and other veterans and just talk about their experiences and support each other. So that's the agriculture part of it. And the second part is a more formal peer support, and we have actual peer support training that our employees go to and that we offer to other veteran service organizations, and that helps them communicate better with their peers and volunteers, and it helps us use our stories to encourage other people to share their stories, and ideally reduces the stigma of seeking mental health assistance if you need it.
I love it. That's awesome. So basically, the people involved over there it's farm, right? Big garden farm, are the veterans, and you actually have some farmer, like people who are educated to farm, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, indeed.
Awesome.
So our farm manager for many years was an excellent lady named Chris Wolf, and she is a well-trained permaculture expert, and she trained many of our cultivators in how to treat the soil because we're all organic, so we can only use organic fertilizers, and we use flowers and spiders to manage bugs instead of using chemicals and that kind of thing. I love it. So anyway, she's very good at that. She trained our cultivators, and then from our cultivators, I chose one of them to now be the farm manager. So it's become a generational kind of passed down thing.
Oh, that's wonderful. This is so cool. So your farm there, how do you pick what veterans can come help? I mean, how do you connect with everybody?
Oh, very good. Well, our main outreach is our vegetable market. So one of our growing veterans who has since moved on to start his own farm, which is really what we're very happy to be able to announce, he went to the Veterans Administration Hospital in Seattle, Washington, about 70 miles south of where I am now, and asked them if we could set up a tent outside the front door of the hospital and sell our vegetables. So we sell vegetables to, and the VA was excellent and got us all set up there. So we sell our vegetables to the staff and veterans as they come and go. And then if there are veterans passing in and out of the hospital who admire the vegetables but clearly are not able to buy some, all my guys are instructed to pack up a bit of whatever they were looking at, plus a few other things to balance a meal, and then discreetly hand it to the veteran around the corner.
Oh my gosh!
So that way,
awesome.
we're able to sell what we can sell, and nobody leaves hungry. That's my first rule of the market.
Oh, that is awesome. This is awesome. And so by you having this farmer stand set up there at the VA, you basically, it's kind of like your billboard, right? You're kind of, hopefully people ask questions and want to come out and maybe learn how to grow too.
Yes, indeed. So we have a few things with our symbol on it. Our icon is an overturned combat helmet with vegetables growing out of it, which is the modern allegory to pounding your swords into plowshares and your spears into pruning hooks. That's a good philosophy, and it's thousands of years old, and we still use it. So we have that image on some stickers and pamphlets and the like that we happily hand to people with our website on it, and then they're welcome to click on the website and learn precisely where our farms are and join us. We don't really have any criteria that you have to meet, other than you have to be there for the mission to help other veterans or to get help yourself. The only people I will not have on the farm are those who would cause harm to other people.
Sure.
For safety reasons. And that has not been a problem, really. People are there for the right spirit.
I love it. So actually the helmet that you talked about, the container, the way you've done that caught my eye on the web. Actually, it's very cool. I envision like miniature garden people loving that because they could do like a little cute little display in the helmet, very cool. So the farm to market that you're talking about, basically, is that the link on your website?
Yes, it is. That's the link on our website, and that's evolving. You're welcome to, of course, have a look at it, but I'll describe it for you briefly. Our main market, of course, is the VA hospital in Seattle, but we also support several food banks in our region, between here and Seattle and in the general region. And again, we don't discriminate on religion or any of that stuff. If you call us up and we can spare any food for you, we do that. Just because it's important to do that. It's important to be good neighbors. So we're also expanding into some other more local markets. We're going to do a thing called a CSA, which is community supported agriculture.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff. How very cool. So I guess what I was asking is on the growingveterans.org, right up at the top, if you click, there's actually a button for this, the farm to market. And with that's what we were talking about at the VA hospital, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So yes, the VA is our primary market, but we're expanding that market a little bit. And part of our program is to encourage veterans who want to come and work at the farm to learn how to do organic farming, to learn how to negotiate with a market to put your vegetables into their particular vending system, and how to become a farmer if you're not already, and if you are a farmer, maybe how to learn a little bit about marketing.
That's very cool. Awesome. So I have to ask you, I'm sure you've connected with a lot of people there at the farm there, and have you seen some, can you share a little story about how gardening has changed these people's lives? Or
Well, yes, absolutely. Yeah. So the cultivators, we have 4 cultivators that operate 2 of our farms, and a separate gentleman who operates a farm near Auburn, Washington, which is closer to Seattle. None of them had farmed before coming to Growing Veterans. They just heard about us, came and volunteered for a while, and after volunteering, liked it so much that they applied to work here and were accepted. One of them has now been promoted to a farm manager, and he's very effective. He's a good leader and a good planner, and he's taught me actually a great deal about succession farming, about how to time your crops so that you get the best out of your growing season. One of our farmers, actually, one of our cultivators left our organization and then now has started his own farm, based in part, I'm sure, on what he learned here, but elsewhere too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what we wish for. The growing veterans part of this is not just growing crops, but it's actually growing the veterans so that they can become self-sustaining, independent, healthy individuals.
This is wonderful. And honestly, just from my own experience, that's the best medicine. It really is, isn't it? For mental and health, just getting out in that soil and just, oh, this is awesome. Exciting.
Yes, it absolutely is. And just this summer, we had a thank you picnic for our many supporters who have offered us expertise and, in some cases, seeds and money to help us move through our year. And at that picnic, one of our volunteers pulled me aside behind a barn and said, "I wanted you to know, Kenny, that it took a year for me being invited to come to finally get to your farm. And now he's been volunteering with us for about 6 months. And he said, I want you to know that I was going to take my own life the day I finally decided I'm either going to get better or I'm going to end this." And he got an invitation from a friend who had worked with us. And he said, "You know what, I'll give it one chance." And he came out to the farm, volunteered nearly every week since then for months and months. And he said, "I have decided now that I'm going to live, I'm going to thrive." And he's been just doing great. So,
Wow.
the difficulties of operating the organization are plenty. There's a lot to do and a lot of problems to solve and a lot of resources to find, but every single bit of that is absolutely worth it when you get a message like that from someone you've helped.
Oh, totally. That is just amazing. Oh, boy. No, I'm glad we're not on film because I have tears. No, that's awesome. This is amazing. So, once again, this is Kenny, and he is, you can find more information about him and this organization at growingveterans.org. Now, on your website there, Kenny, you've got an events tab. Pretty cool. You got some events coming up.
We do indeed. There is a very nice resort on the boundary waters between us and British Columbia, Canada, called Semiahmoo Resort.
Mm-hmm.
And over the years, we've sold them some of our delicious organic vegetables. And their head chef, Bruno, contacted us, and he had two messages for us. First, he said, "You guys don't charge enough for your vegetables." And his second message was that he knew what our mission was, and he wanted to help us. So the entire resort is sponsoring a Veterans Day dinner this Veterans Day, the 11th of November, at the resort. And there he has invited his chef friends from all the way down the West Coast, all the way down, I think, to San Diego.
Uh-huh.
And they're making their specialty dishes for this meal. And so if you want to have probably the best dinner you'll ever have, find your way to Semiahmoo Resort in Blaine, Washington, on November 11th. You can click on our site and find a way to get your tickets there.
Yeah.
And you can either come and just have a dinner, or if you're a corporation, you can sponsor a table and invite all your friends to join you there for the best meal of their life.
Good food, right? I mean, it's right there. You're right harvesting it right off the ground, right out of the garden, and now you've got some awesome chefs there. That is going to be an amazing meal.
Yeah, it really should be something. Looking forward to it.
Awesome.
And we'll have a silent auctions there for things that have been donated either by our farm or to our farm for this purpose. Some fishing trips, some luxury stays at the Semiahmoo Resort Hotel, tickets to the opera, some really cool things.
That is awesome. And then, so now all these items were basically donated to go toward the organization, correct?
Yes, that's correct. We call them in-kind donations because by and large they are given to us by people who may not have a lot of resources, but they have one really great skill that they can offer to us. So a gentleman I know who operates a successful fishing charter has offered several seats on a fishing trip of your choice, of your date. A lovely woman I know who plays violin in several symphony orchestras has offered us tickets to those symphonies. So these are gifts that absolutely come from the heart, and this isn't just raising money for something light. This is raising money to save lives and to do good work that nobody else can do.
Very cool. That's awesome. So, I recently got some information about some T-shirts you've got going. I'm not quite sure if this is just a one-time fundraiser, or can you tell me a little bit about these? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I sure do.
Okay.
Yeah, an excellent company called Plant Warrior approached us and asked if we would like to partner with them. They are producing a line of really good quality shirts that have reproductions of World War I and World War II Victory Garden illustrations on them. So we are approaching the 100th anniversary of World War I, believe it or not. So the company, Plant Warrior, went to the Library of Congress and found these illustrations. They have freshened them up so that they look modern. They didn't change the illustrations, but they freshened the colors a little bit. And they have put with them on a separate panel our logo, and then we will get $4 for each T-shirt that's purchased. So if you go onto our website, you can find a link under, I think, how to help or how to get involved. I'm not precisely sure.
Get involved, yeah.
There we go. Thank you. And that has a link to the Plant Warrior site through which you can purchase a T-shirt that will help us. So by buying that T-shirt, you help us save the lives that we are saving. You become part of that.
Very cool. And I also like you guys are active on social media. You have a Facebook page and you have a Twitter. There was something about the T-shirt also over at your Facebook page. And
sure.
Yeah, which is awesome. So people can connect there. It's growingveterans.org once again. And this is so exciting. How fun. Hey, what are you guys harvesting right now?
Well, today we harvested several 100 pounds of really delicious tomatoes. And I'm afraid I can't tell you exactly which kinds they are. We have salad tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, little yellow tomatoes shaped like a pear, big old heirloom monster tomatoes. We have a bunch of kinds of peppers. We've got salad peppers and jalapenos and habaneros and some green bell peppers and red bell peppers. And all of these are so tasty.
Oh, my goodness. Throw in cilantro and we have a salsa right there.
I'll be stopping by the store.
It sounds wonderful. Oh my goodness. So this has been so exciting talking to you with today about the events coming up and all this. So where can our audience find more about Growing Veterans?
Well, you're welcome to either check out our Facebook site. You can just go onto Facebook and go into the search bar at the top and type in Growing Veterans or growingveterans.org, and it'll bring you to our Facebook site. And you're welcome to like us there. Welcome to make a comment as you like, or you can go directly to our website at growingveterans.org. And our Twitter account, I'm sorry, I'm 55 years old and I don't know things about Twitter.
It's okay, hey, because you know what? You've got all those links to your social media right at the top of the page, which is what I love because I love connecting, and that's great. And this is a great organization, so I hope everyone will stop over and take a look and hopefully buy a T-shirt. I love the T-shirts. They're cute.
They are. They're really good-looking T-shirts. I wish I'd had a part in designing them, but the design really is timeless. These are designs that are 100 years old, and in their time, they helped to bring us victory against our enemies in World War I. We still have enemies, and some of them are overseas, and some of them are right here in our hearts and souls, and we need to find a way to fight them. And you can help us by buying those T-shirts or by just clicking directly on our site and making a contribution.
That is wonderful. Thank you so much, Kenny.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining me today for this presentation. I hope you will check out growingveterans.org and connect with Kenny and the others growing out there in Washington State. I really want one of those adorable t-shirts Kenny shared with us today, so I'll be clicking over there quick because I bet they are going to sell out fast. So hey, don't forget to connect with me on social. I love social. You can find me on Twitter, Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Bren Haas, kind of like the avocado, only spelled different. Today's presentation, featuring all the links and some really great images that Kenny shared with me, can be found on my website at brenhaas.com. That's Bren Haas, HAAS.com. Until the next episode, I hope you get out in the garden.